welcome back, and today we are doing a tag video. Now this is called the makeup collection tag. I am not sure who started it, but I will see if I can find out and put it down below. But I was tagged to do this video by Neala. So Neala, let me know if I'm saying your name right. I'm so sorry. I actually found Neala through her makeup collection video. I love her. She does amazing tutorials. They're very to the point. She does a lot of drugstore. Her voice is so soothing. I love your accent, like full on kind of girl crushing. And she's a new mommy, so she's just doing the damn thing. She's amazing. So please go check her out. I love her channel. I just love her personality. She's so relatable. So Neala, thank you for tagging me. But I'm just gonna jump into it, guys. All right, so question number one is, how long have you been collecting makeup? I would say I've been wearing makeup. I was a late bloomer, probably since like senior year, kind of college. So I've been collecting makeup for about 10 years and probably like into the YouTube kind of influence of collecting makeup, Ulta, Sephora, that kind of thing, indie brands since, for probably about 6 or 7. So that's how long I've been collecting. Question number two, what kind of collection do you have? Minimal, utilitarian, aesthetic, historical? I would say my collection for me is very aesthetic. It's about, does it make, because I have so much of it, and I'm not saying that to brag, I'm saying that I have more makeup than anybody could use. So really what I have in my collection is because I enjoy using it and because I love just the look of it. For me, I love everything about makeup. I love the packaging. I love the ideas behind it. I love the way it makes you feel. I love the colors. It just all kind of appeals to me. So in that sense, I would say it would be an aesthetic collection. And I also keep things for memories and just for nostalgic purposes. So it is kind of a historical collection. I could see me keeping some things and really getting into collecting older makeup just for the history of it, because I've always been a history fan and I love seeing how things evolve. So I could see my collection evolving into a more historical collection as I grow and get older, but time will tell. But I would say it's mainly just aesthetic at this point. Number three, are you a completionist? Absolutely. I just did a completionist anti-haul. I will put the link up here if you want to go check that out. It's something I struggle with because I think I mentioned in that video, I have always been a fan of series and movie series and I get attached to characters and ideas. And so, having a whole set of palettes, it's mainly eyeshadows for me. It's having the whole set of palettes or having the whole set of eyeliners or whatever. It is just very appealing. And it's something that I am trying to get better about. And I feel like I'm getting a lot better about it, but I am definitely 100% a completionist. It's an impulse I have to fight against. Number four, how do you store and organize your collection? For me, it's all about use. So it's not really for display. I hate dust, guys. Like dust, I can't stand it. Absolutely hate it. So I don't like to keep a lot of things out. I like to keep things put away and in their space. So I do use a lot of acrylic organizers for lipsticks. I do have some palette organizers on my desk for palettes. I have some beauty, kind of those acrylic beauty boxes, just so everything is put away. But the way I like to store my collection and organize my collection is so I can see everything. It's stacked in a way, or it's placed in a way, or it's organized in a way to where I can open a drawer and see everything I have. Because if I'm going to have it, I want to be able to see it, because if I see it, then I'll use it. So I don't stack anything up. I don't hide anything or push anything in the backs of drawers. I mean, if I can't see it or reach it, it's not going to be there. So it's mainly so I can, for ease of use, ease of access, so I can use what I have and I can remind myself of what I have. Let me know if you guys would be interested in, I know y'all just saw all my declutters, but if you'd be updated or interested in just like an updated overview vanity makeup collection, it would be nowhere near as long as my previous one was that I filmed a couple years ago. One, I don't have as much makeup because I've gotten rid of like a half of it. But two, I just to show you how I organize, because I know some people are interested in that. So let me know down below. Number five, what is your favorite thing about your collection? I think my favorite thing about my collection right now is that I'm finding a happy medium, and I'm giving myself space to enjoy my collection, but I'm limiting the space that I allow for my collection. Meaning that, for example, with my lipsticks. I have 3 organizers that I use for lipsticks and lip glosses, and I am not allowing myself any more space than what I have. And if a lipstick or a lip gloss can't fit in one of those organizers, then I don't need it, or something else has to move out. Same for my blush drawers or my concealer drawers or my foundation drawers. I love the fact that I have found a happy medium to where I have allowed myself to set limitations on how much space my makeup can take up, because it allows me to really evaluate if I want something or if I'm just buying it to buy it, because I have a limited amount of space that I'm really sticking to. So that's my favorite thing about my collection right now, is that I have created this happy medium of giving myself enough space to enjoy my makeup and expand my collection where I want to, but not letting it get out of control. So that's my hands down my favorite thing right now. Number 6, what is the least favorite thing about, or something to improve about your collection? I don't know. I'm really happy with my collection right now. Like, I think I've put so much time and effort into really organizing it and decluttering it and getting down to the basics of what I need and want, that I'm really happy with it. I would say if there was one thing I could change about like my collection space, is I wish I had a space dedicated just for my studio equipment. So it's just not in the way. I mean, like, this is totally not complaining at all. It's just, you know, I have my lights that I use for my filming, and they're kind of out in the middle. So I wish I had a room that was dedicated just to my makeup and filming space that was not also acting as a bedroom. So, I mean, that would be the only thing, but I am so happy with my space and my collection right now. I mean, I guess that's the only thing I would change. That's not bad, right? Number 7, what is the biggest category of your collection? Hands down, it's eyeshadow palettes. What can I say? I'm an addict. I love them. They inspire me. That is probably always going to be the nature of my collection, is to have more eyeshadow palettes than I know what to do with. Number 8 is what is the smallest category of your collection? I would say it's probably brow products. I have a few brow products that I really like. I have some powders, I have some pomades, and I have some pencils. But I'm really not a crazy brow enthusiast. I mean, I kind of just do what I can do. They are definitely sisters, not twins. I've never been confident with my brow routine. So it's just kind of one of those parts of makeup that I just kind of get through, and it is what it is. And hopefully they're similar when they're on my face. So I would say probably brow products is the least populous category of my collection. Question number 9, do you have a holy grail in your collection? That's a hard question. I think there's always going to be products that you love and you reach for and you absolutely adore. For example, the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara, that is absolutely a holy grail for me. The Jordana Easy Liner for lips, those are holy grail for me. But when it comes to anything else, I mean, I feel like you're always going to have bad makeup days. You're always going to have days when things just don't work out, and I tend to not be reaching for one thing over something else. I tend to really try and mix up my routine and switch things out. I will say I do have some holy grail skincare products. I have some Peter Thomas Roth stuff that I absolutely swear by, as well as some drugstore stuff that I love. But as far as makeup, I have things that I absolutely 100% love, but do I say they work for me every single time without fail? Probably not. Like I said, the Jordana Easy Liners, the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara. I mean, but I don't think there's one product in my collection that if it were removed, it would completely, you know, topple my makeup routine. So I would say holy grail. Favorites, absolutely. Favorites and things I tend to reach for more. Holy grail, I think that might be like a little bit of an overused term, just personally. Question number 10, do you ever wish your collection was bigger, smaller, or is it complete? Again, I'm really happy with how my collection is right now. It could it has been bigger. It could be smaller. Am I happy with what I have and I really make use of what I have? Yeah, I do. I'm really happy with it right now. And I want my collection to always be an evolving thing. If something isn't working, or if I've stopped using something, or if I've used something up, I'm always open to try new things because it's fun. You know, it's part of the fun of makeup. So I'm really, really content with the size of my collection right now. And unless... What are you doing? What are you doing? So I'm really content with the size of my collection right now. It could change and it could get bigger. It could change and I could declutter half of it again. I mean, who knows? It's just right now where I am, I'm really, really happy with it. Number 11, how often do you declutter makeup in your collection? So I had somebody ask me this the other day. I used to be a person who I never thought I would be into declutters. And I think that's because I thought I had such a good handle on my collection because I'm such an organized person and my collection was so well organized. If you go back and look at my makeup collection from what, 2017 or 16, it's got like 2.4 million views on it. So it just blew up and I have no idea why. But, my collection was huge. It was huge. It was not the biggest collection on YouTube, but it was very large, but it was very well organized. So I didn't even realize how much makeup I had. So after putting that video up and really kind of looking at it objectively, I was like, okay, I gotta get a handle on this. Is too much. It's, you know, Pita, what are you doing? You trying to help film? You're gonna knock over the stuff. Come here. So after watching that video, I got into the habit, and it's been a habit for the past 3 years now, 3 years in the spring. It's usually like March, April, February, somewhere in there. I will go through and declutter everything. I'm talking brushes, makeup bags, blushes, bronzers, primers, I declutter everything. And it's become just a very healthy, cathartic way to start the new year for me because I have to sit and evaluate what I'm liking, what I'm not, if I'm reaching for something, if something just doesn't work for me anymore. So I declutter. I do a pretty deep declutter once a year, and I always end up decluttering more than I think I'm going to. And it just shows that, you know, I think it's a healthy thing. I think if you're somebody with a large collection, or if you're somebody who feels really emotionally attached to makeup, it's a really healthy, cathartic thing to do, to realize that they're just products. They're just physical things. And as much of an emotional attachment as we have to some things, and I'm the same way. I just did a video about sentimental makeup. It's not everything in my collection, and there are things that I can definitely get a hold of or get rid of. Pita's knocking my ring light over. Pita, what are you doing? So I declutter once a year, and it's usually in the springtime. Number 12, do you ever get envious seeing other people's makeup collections? I would say no. Sometimes I'm envious of their filming spaces, but not makeup collections. I used to when I was first starting out and I felt like I didn't have a big collection. Now, if I watch a big YouTuber's collection, especially like somebody who gets a lot of PR, it kind of just makes me, I don't want to say it gives me anxiety, but it makes me kind of anxious because I'm like, what do you do with all that? You know, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of makeup and I'm not hating. If you want boxes and boxes of makeup, it's your life. You do what you want to do, but I couldn't be surrounded by all that. So while I enjoy watching palette collections and things like that, sometimes when I watch makeup collections, I'm like, oh, I would have to get in there and declutter because I just couldn't deal with all of it or organize it. So I usually don't feel envious of other people's collections just because sometimes it's just too much even for me. 13, who on YouTube has the best makeup collection video? I don't know. If you're talking about like editing and, you know, just overall, just the way a collection looks, you know, everybody wants that clean. I don't know that I know somebody whose makeup collection I just love. I can tell you people whose palette collection videos I just love. Actually, that's how I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to tell you some YouTube channels that I found through their palette collections that I have just been in love with. So Cosmetic Chaos, I love her. Candace, she's amazing. I'll link all these below. Shell at Make Up Your Mind, I found her through her palette collection. Neala, I found her through her palette collection. Who else? That's how I like to find people because it's just I feel like it's a good way to find out who's how people kind of are in their sensibility with makeup. But those are three that I absolutely love, their palette collections. I love seeing their other collection videos too, but I found them through their palette collections. So I would say those are some of my favorites. So question number 14, what is some advice you'd give to a future makeup collector? I would say a couple things. Really evaluate what you like. If, for example, I don't like lip glosses. I have maybe 3 or 4 lip glosses that I have in my entire collection. I don't like cream contour. I have 1 cream contour in my collection. I don't like coral blushes on me because I don't think they're, or like bright pink lipsticks. So I don't have those in my collection. And I learned that, unfortunately, through a whole bunch of trial and error and feeling like I had to go out and buy entire collections of things or entire lines of lipstick. And then they just sat and went bad in my collection, which is stupid, you know? So I would say, first off, learn what you like. So that way you're not spending money. If you don't like, for example, if you don't like matte lipsticks, don't go out and buy a bunch of $20 matte liquid lipsticks because that's the cool thing or your favorite YouTuber is using them. It doesn't matter how much they love them. If you don't like them, what's the point? You're just wasting your money. Secondly, don't look down on drugstore. You know, it's like with the Natasha Denona palette, that gold palette that I want so bad. I found that $10 Profusion palette, the chocolates palette, that is giving me the same vibe. So why, if I'm enjoying that and it's a good quality palette, why do I need to go out and spend $130 on a palette for the, you know, just because it's Natasha Denona? Like, just know that the drugstore has so many good products, or indie brands or more affordable brands have so many good products. And, you know, maybe that $50 palette isn't in your budget, but that $10 palette is, and it's going to give you the same look, you know? So don't look down on drugstore or affordable brands. Don't buy things just because your favorite YouTuber or Instagram artist is doing it. You know, buy things that you know you're going to enjoy and get use out of, and then inspire you to be creative and be powerful and bold in your makeup. So, and give it time, you know, Rome was not built in a day. My makeup collection, it was not built in a day. I mean, I've been collecting on and off for 10 years. So, and, you know, and just remember that at the end of the day, makeup is absolutely 100% a need. I mean, a want and not a need. Nobody needs makeup. You need to pay your bills. You need to have food in your belly. You need to have a roof over your head. You know, you don't need makeup. Makeup is 100% a, you know, not to lessen it, because I think it's a very powerful medium, but it's not a need. It is definitely a want. It's a luxury. It's a something that's fun to make you feel good. So don't sacrifice things that are important that you need to take care of for makeup. Because it's, at the end of the day, you're going to be like, I have all this stuff, but I'm in debt. You know what I mean? So just make sure it's within your budget, and be smart about it, and don't feel pressure to keep up with that YouTuber who has, you know, 1 million subscribers, who's getting boxes of PR every day, because it's just not reasonable. It's not practical, and you're never going to use it anyway. So what's the point? Then you'll just feel bad about it. But that is my suggestion and recommendation and advice for future collectors. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Neala, thank you so much for tagging me in this. This was such a fun thing to do. Definitely let me know if you are not doing a video, you know, leave your answers down below. I'm always interested to hear what you guys have to say. If you do decide to film this video, please let me know down below. Put a link in the comments. I will come and watch it. I love finding people through these kind of tags. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me today. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Have a rockin' week, and I will see you next time. Bye.